Do these franchises need to retire or keep going? Today we are looking at all of the big demon and, Exorcist, all that demonic junk franchises. I'm looking at them, a lot of the big ones, talking about should they retire, should they stop, or can we keep going? Is there some good potential left here? These ones might surprise you. Let's start with the obvious one. Let's talk about The Conjuring. I just saw something where like a director or a producer, someone like that came out and was like, okay, yeah, the last Conjuring, it's actually the last one. I know we've said that this is the spookiest case yet. The case that made them really freaked out. The case that scared them. Wow. I know we've been doing that for the last couple movies, but jokes aside, we're actually done this time. Of course, this could be like a Hugh Jackman, I'm done situation, wink wink, until the moment's right, until it comes time for the Warrens to collab with the Family Guy family, I don't know. But I think in general, not only does The Conjuring have to stop, I think this whole universe, I'm good on it, dude. Annabelle, The Nun, I'm good, man. I'm okay. I think all of those films kind of together have really plateaued. I can't think of anything in that universe that has been interesting. I do like the idea of like these new villains here and there, but The Nun and Annabelle themselves, it's like, okay, I've seen everything interesting I think these franchises can do. I'm okay if you stop. In fact, I'd prefer it. So Conjuring, Annabelle, all that stuff, please stop. Please stop it, guys. It's getting old. You're unk status, bro. Up next, I'm going with The Exorcist, and I'm going to say also retire because the last one with Aaron Burr was not fantastic. I don't think it was like the worst film of all time, the most insulting thing to ever happen to cinema, like a lot of people said, but still, I'm good on that. And this franchise is kind of a strange thing because it really started off the whole entire craze, but now in this day and age of like child gets possessed, priest comes to save, that is nothing new. So it's kind of like a thank you for your service, thank you for kicking the show off, but we're good, you can rest. Because I also think the Exorcist universe is too tied to this idea of like kid gets possessed. Not even saying that, I want adults to get possessed, and that I'm not vibing with the Exorcist tradition of kids getting possessed, but I think it's holding the franchise back to where it's like, at the end of the day, we've kind of seen this film before, another franchise that needs to stop. Let's talk about one that needs to keep going, and this is a surprising one because this one has been around for a while. That is, of course, Evil Dead. Evil Dead for a while was kind of in a weird place as a franchise. We got the Fede Alvarez one that I actually enjoyed. I thought that one was pretty good, but the last one, Evil Dead Rise, shows that there's still so much this franchise can do. The franchise started off very serious. It got a little goofy at points with like Army of Darkness and things like that, but I think now going back to Evil Dead Rise, going back to this like ultra horror in the sense of like there's no real comedy or anything like that, I think it's really interesting. I think the concepts of someone who you're with, like the Deadites possessing like that, I think that still works, and I think that Evil Dead Rise proved that, and I hope that we see more for this franchise because that last film was pretty good. And I'm pretty sure we are going to get more. Up next, we're going Hellraiser. I'll admit, I didn't see the last one on Hulu. I heard it was pretty solid. I think that this one, it's like you're skating on thin ice, buddy. I'll give you like one more attempt, if anything. Because while the last film I heard was good, I think that these old kind of like 80s franchises, I'll call them, we've seen a lot from them already, and they're at a point where you have to innovate. You have to keep being interesting, and it sounds like that last one was. But again, it's like, is that a fluke kind of situation like Halloween 2018? Halloween 2018, I enjoyed. The trilogy kind of fizzled out from there. Can Hellraiser keep that steam up? If not, that's fine to end it. You did this whole thing. You brought it back. You did your Force Awakens. You don't want to end up making your Rise of Skywalker. That's all I'll say. This next one hurts because I'll say it. I don't think this franchise really hit its potential as a franchise, and that's Insidious. The thing with Insidious is that the first one is amazing. I love the first film. The second one also is an enjoyable film, but from there, it took such a nosedive, man. 3 is not good. 4 is one of my least favorite horror movies of all time. I will say that. And the 5th one, just incredibly boring. And it's a bummer because after Insidious 2, there's so many concepts here that are interesting. There's so many things about the world of the Further and Lorraine and just what's going on there in the supernatural aspect of this world that is worth exploring. And like The Conjuring brought in other villains, it's curious to see other stories about this happening to kids and things like that. But I also think it ran into a similar problem as The Conjuring of like almost turning into like this villain of the week kind of situation, and like, okay, what can be the gimmick guy, right? Because it worked really well in the first two. You have lipstick in the first one, you have the bride in black in the second one, the third one, how can we find a gimmick, you know, with our freaking the sick guy? And then the fourth one, how can we find a new gimmicky guy? This guy's got keys for fingers. The fifth one, I think they went back to lipstick. I don't really remember if there's anyone else in that film, but yeah. That's not what's interesting about this. The interesting part about these films is the interpersonal dynamics between the families, the parents, or whoever it is. It doesn't have to be parents trying to find out what's going wrong with their child or whoever is gone in the further. That's the interesting part, not this villain of the week kind of situation. It got too focused on that, and that's the bummer of a lot of these franchises. They're so focus grouped, they're so processed by studios. It's like they're totally missing the mark of what people like about these films. Don't get me wrong, lipstick, bride in black, they're cool in those films. We like them in those films, but that's not what I like about those films. And I think that they really missed the mark there, as did the Conjuring universe. There's a world where there's something left to explore here, but honestly, I'm over it, dude. I'm so over it, especially following the one family. Let them rest, dude. Just stop. After that, though, I have one more that I think can keep going, and that is Paranormal Activity. Paranormal Activity, I think, is a very slept on film in terms of its relevance and its importance to the horror genre. I actually think that the found footage medium, like, due for some more attention. I know that Shelby Oaks, Chris Stuckman's new movie, has some of that going on. I know Creep, but even then, dude, Creep was like a decade ago at this point. It was so spammed early 2000s. I think people were over it. Now, I'm ready for it. It's a really good medium for horror. I personally love it. I'd be down to see this again. Give Paranormal Activity another chance. And with that, that's the video. Did I forget any? What do you think? Any of them I was wrong on? Any of them you think I was spot on? Hit subscribe. New videos every single day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.